Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event. Fight fans worldwide, you've tuned into the #1 undisputed boxing podcast today. This is the Boxing Breakdown. Now, your heavy-handed, hard-hitting host, Mark Roxey.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome everybody to another episode of the Boxing Breakdown. And I'm your host, Mark Roxey, and I'm delighted that you're here with me, tuning in again. Thanks for joining us wherever you are, whether you're at work or at home, just wanting to check out some boxing news. I'm just really happy that you chose to be with the Boxing Breakdown. So thanks a lot for being here. And boy, man, there's a lot of stuff going on in boxing as usual. And we are still in a COVID era boxing community world. But I do believe that we are slowly emerging out of COVID-19 pandemic lockdown. And you're starting to see little spotty boxing events taking place. Just last night, Ring City had an absolutely amazing fight card in Puerto Rico, featuring Amanda Serrano as the main event, and it was an outstanding card. It was on NBC Sports, so it was great. And today I want to tell you about an event that's coming up on May 1st. So stay tuned and listen to this. We got the Cuban star and WBC super welterweight champion Erislandy Lara, the American Dream. He's called the American Dream. Lara will seek a third world title in a second weight class when he faces the veteran contender Thomas Cornflake Lamanna for the WBA Middleweight Title in the main event of Fox PBC's Fight Night. And it will also be seen on Fox's Deportes Saturday, May 1st, as part of a stacked night of boxing from Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, California. So this broadcast begins at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time, and proceeds the FOX Sports PBC Pay-Per-View event headlined by former unified heavyweight world titleist and world champion Andy the Destroyer Ruiz Jr., battling an all-action heavyweight Chris the Nightmare Arreola, which tops a stellar boxing extravaganza, all taking place again at the Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, California. The Fox PBC Fight Night co-main event will see top featherweight contender Eduardo Ramírez taking on a very tough and rugged Avelar. Yeah, that's how you say his name. In a 12-round fight for the vacant interim WBA Featherweight title. The event is a promotion of TGB Promotions, and tickets go on sale Friday, March 26th at 10 a.m. Pacific time, and can be purchased at axs.com. For the event, that includes an action-packed lineup of Fox PBC Fight Night and FOX Sports PBC Pay-Per-View fights. Again, Dignity Health Sports Park will be open to fans in a limited capacity, with all guests remaining socially distant and subject to local and state health guidelines throughout the event. I believe there's about 2,000 individuals that will attend that event, and it should be outstanding. And today, I have a very, very special guest that comes out of Belleville, New Jersey, native Thomas Cornflake Lamanna, who is currently 34-1 with 12 KOs, and he's riding an 8-fight unbeaten streak, which includes 7 wins plus a draw against Gabriel Bracero before losing to Jorge Cota in January of 2020. He won back-to-back middleweight fights in January and October, entering this showdown, knocking out Jorge Pimentel and Juan de Jesus Gonzalez prior to his 2 most recent knockouts. So Lamanna dropped a narrow decision to Brian Mendoza in August 2020. And Thomas Lamanna has been quoted as saying, "It's been a long time coming, and now I'm finally getting my chance to accomplish my ultimate dream of becoming a champion." This is what Lamanna, the 29-year-old, said. "This is the land of opportunity, and I'm getting mine on May 1st. I've put my heart, blood, and soul into this game. I am the definition of the American dream. People can write me off if they want, because at the end of the day, there's no doubt that I'm coming to win. This is my time." And that's all a quote from Mr. Lamanna. And I really wanted to get with him and set the record straight. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Thomas Cornflake Lamanna to the Boxing Breakdown. What's up? What's up? What's up, Cornflake?
What up? What up? What up, my brother? How are you?
Good, my brother. What's going on? How you doing?
Oh man, I'm blessed, Mark. I'm blessed. I'm grateful. I'm alive. I'm blessed. I'm happy. I'm smiling. I'm just, I don't know. I'm great. I feel great.
Oh man,
I've been great. How about yourself?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. I'm living my best life and just trying to keep things moving forward after this post COVID-19 thing.
Yeah, for sure.
You just sound so good and so positive. This is like the Lamanna part 2, because the last time we talked, it was right after the Mendoza fight, and there was a lot of emotions coming out of that fight. And I just really love the way you sound on the phone, man. You feel me?
You. Yeah, I feel you. Look, like I said, I'm happy. I'm blessed. I'm grateful. I'm just, I don't know. I'm lost for words, to be honest. So I really don't know how. By the way, I'm always positive. I'm always happy. Yeah, last time we spoke was right after I had that fight with Brian Mendoza. And obviously, it didn't go my way that night. There was a lot of, it was a huge amount of, debates going on, and that was, it was just some funny shit going on.
Yeah.
And but I got over it. It is what it is. Put it in God's hands, and I bounced back, came back. I stayed low, just did what I had to do, maneuvered myself correctly, and fuck, man, now I'm fighting for the world title, bro.
Oh, you know what? I got a bunch of things I want to get into, and I want to spill the beans, because a lot of the listeners probably don't know this news. I just saw the news come over the wire a couple of days ago, and my initial reaction was, "Oh my gosh, I got to call him on. I got to get him on the program so we can chop this up." First of all, I want to congratulate you and tell you how happy I am for this news that we're about to share. But I also wanted to ask you appropriately, how's the family?
Oh yeah, no, family's great. family. You know, I got a 2.5-year-old. She's definitely there is such thing as a terrible two. I'll tell you that much. There's definitely such thing as a terrible two thing, and I'm going through that with her. But other than that, the family's great. My fiance is great. My mother is great. My father, we're all great. Everybody's great, thank God.
Amen.
Thank God. We're all good.
Yeah,
I did screw up. Me, my fiance, and my daughter, we was all victims of COVID. Of the virus. We all caught it, and I kind of feel terrible because I know for a fact I brought it home and I gave it to them. But other than that, I mean, that was back in like November. And other than that, though, we've been, everything's been great. Everything has been great, I guess,
So
no complaints.
I want to share this with you because I also, in November, the week of Thanksgiving, I also came down with COVID-19 and my entire family was infected as well. And and I brought it home from the gym I took a fighter, this is what I believe. It's alleged, right? Because we never know, right? But I believe I took a fighter, Martino Jules, up to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania for some sparring. And then when I got back, I started to get the chills and blah, blah, blah. And so I believe that might have been how that went down. So I know exactly what you went through, man. And I had it bad. Out of the entire family, I had it the worst,
Wow.
Yeah. So I got you.
Crazy enough, I actually had it the week of Thanksgiving. We had it I had it the week of Thanksgiving as well.
Wow.
They didn't test positive, they didn't come back positive until like the week after.
Yep.
So I had it that same time as well.
Yeah, that's amazing. We were going through the same thing, man. But I'm 52. You're a spring chicken, man. I think you're in your 30s, right? No, not even 29.
29.
Yeah, you're 29. That's right. So yeah, man. How's the promotional venture going? How'd you do up in Mexico and back here? What's going on with Rising Sun Promotions? Rising Star Promotions.
Yeah, no, it's all good. No, I mean, I kind of fell back a little bit. Obviously, I've known about this fight that I have since December and mid-December. I've known about it, so I've known about it for a while. Wow. I just never was able, I just never spoke about it. I had a fight. I had fought in early January. I fought, and then I did another 2 shows out there, and then I just put everything on pause. I put everything on pause,
right?
Because this is I obviously I have a huge fight coming up, so put it on pause. But look, things are starting to reopen out here in America, and especially in the tri-state. So the limits are being uplifted, and all the guidelines and all that stuff. So we'll see. I'm not even thinking about promoting. I'm not thinking about nothing like that right now. Yeah. I'm just focused nothing. I'm focused on my fight and strapping myself up after the night's over.
That's right. And with everything going on, I mean, obviously there's no audience, so having your own fights, you get to turn your entire attention to your career and this big announcement, which we're just ready to make, and it's going to be something, man. I'm really excited. I'm excited to know you. I'm excited to know about the fight because as I look at this fight on paper and I study it closely, I can understand certain things about this that make it quite special for you. So I just wanted to say, let me, if I can, I'll spill some of the beans and we'll get into it. Okay. Is that okay?
Sure.
All right. So ladies and gentlemen, Thomas Lamanna will be facing the Cuban star and WBA super welterweight champion Erislandy Lara. He'll be taking on Thomas Lamanna for the WBA Middleweight Championship, headlining on FOX PBC Fight Night and on FOX Deportes Saturday, May 1st, from Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, California. What's up? What's up? What's up? Yo, that right there is amazing. Yeah, man.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, that's
Crazy.
what's up, bro. Like, those of you that are listening in, you know, you got to understand that, you know, Thomas Cornflake Lamanna has been working on this for many, 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 many years. You understand? This is not something that just fell in his lap. He's been working and grinding and working and grinding and working and grinding to get to this spot where he can get this kind of a shot for his future. So it's quite a big fight, and I just wanted to lace that out there. And you know, so I mean, is this going to be a live event and pay-per-view, or how is it working?
No, so we're not on the pay-per-view portion like many people think we are, which we're not. We're not on pay-per-view. We're not on the Chris Arreola. We're on the same card. Like, it's the same show.
Right.
But me and Laura are the main event of Fox.
Right.
The main event on Fox.
Deporte.
Right before pay-per-view.
The Deporte.
Fox. Like Fox. Wherever Fox. Like every TV in the entire world, especially in the U.S., has Fox.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And it could be, whatever, Fox Deportes for the Spanish,
Right.
All that. But yeah, it's going to be on Fox, and then right after us is the Chris Arreola Andy Ruiz pay-per-view event, and from what I know that there's going to be like, I think they're limiting it to like 2,000 people.
Wow,
like 2,000 people in the arena.
Ah, that's awesome.
And you know what I mean? So
yeah,
I don't really know too much about all that, but
that's okay.
I do know out of the 2,000, I'll have a good 50 to 75, possibly even 100 people deep in California. I'm cross country, so like,
right.
That's special to me. It's special to me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, you want to have as many people as you can have with you for this moment. This is a big moment, and so I would see that you could create that for your for you and the team, and it would be an amazing thing to have such a large contingency with you in the fight arena when you're fighting, because that'll add. That certainly will add.
Yeah.
So what? So who's if you don't mind me asking, who's training you for this bout?
So I'm with Amon Elliott, Coach O.
Oh, okay.
He's a really good teacher. He's a student. His son is a phenomenal fighter. A 1-0, Kashad Elliott.
Yep, I know.
They call him Horse.
Yep.
So really good.
That's
a
what's
lot
up.
of people don't know. Amon's actually Cuban as well, so like he understands the style.
Yep.
He's a student of Lara as a fan. He's a fan of Lara, so obviously he knows him.
Yeah.
And it just meshed. And by the way, I've known O for years. Like, I've known him for a while.
Right.
And we've always kept in contact. We've always been boys, and we worked with each other here and there at certain spots, and we talked a lot. You know what I'm saying? So, it was just right. And, yeah, man, like, camp's been going really good. I've been in it for, a good solid, like full on, hands on, 1-on-1, everything good for like a good 3 weeks. This is like actually week 4. And, I still got like 5 to go after this. So like, it's going to be real solid. I mean, we was working with each other a little bit in the last couple months, you know what I mean, a couple of days a week, and just getting the flow. And
right.
I've been focusing on my strength and conditioning with my trainer Dylan on that, and I also what's special to me is, I can't believe I forgot. What's special to me is, I brought back my original trainer, Coach Hassan, who I was with for my first 16 fights.
Wow.
As a pro. And and we departed we separated after that, and which was about 2013 or 2013, 2014, something like that. And now for this, it was crazy. Where it's like I called him, I broke the news to him before it even came out, and he came to the gym the next day, and he never left. It was just like, yeah.
Wow.
And so it was really special. So to have him with us, and and then Dylan, like we're just a team. You know what I mean? We're there every single day with each other, grinding and working hard and doing what we got to do to secure victory.
Yo, that's incredible, because when I go back and I look at your when I look at your record, what I see is that, those first 14, 15, 16, 17 fights, I think I counted 14. They were all wins, like solid wins in the beginning of your career. So, and I assume that he was with you all the way up until the Gilbert Sanchez fight. Was he with you then?
That was our last fight.
Yeah,
that was our last fight.
Because
yeah.
you could I can kind of feel that. I can kind of feel that in looking, evaluating your resume and such. I could see how strong that time period was. So look at you. You're back with your original trainer. You got O with you. So you're basically you got your 6-shooter on each hand. That's pretty good.
Facts, man. Yeah.
That's wonderful news, man. I'm really happy to hear that. That's what's going on in camp. And so how's your body taking the camp, being that it's only you're not even really halfway through it, but how's your body feeling?
Body's feeling good. Like I could see the progress in my figure. I could see my stamina is getting better and better.
Yeah.
My strength is getting better and better. We're starting to up the sparring. You know what I mean? I've been sparring with some quality guys now. This past week, I stepped the sparring up a little bit.
Nice.
Stepped the rounds up. Took a trip to Brooklyn and got some work out there.
There we
go. I got some good work coming Saturday, and then next week is when we're bringing some guys in starting next week, like out of towners, and it's like it's a camp, so
yes.
It's gonna be good, and they're the right guys. I got the right guys coming, the right guys who I got guys coming in the camp that have been in other camps for fighters who fought Lara. You know what I mean? So,
yes.
I got the proper guys. I got the proper work set up. I think so, at least. We'll find out. But, yeah, man.
Well,
everything's going good, knock on wood.
And one thing, Thomas, one thing I know about you, and for the listeners out there that don't know, Thomas has his hands in a lot of different things, and he really, I know that with your expertise and your understanding of this sport, and the ins and outs of it, that you would pick and select the correct sparring partners to mimic Lara's style impeccably. I just know that that's what you're going to do. I'm not going to ask who's in the camp, but I can already, if I were to run off a couple of names, I'm sure you probably got 3 or 4 of them in your gym, in the gym with you. But we don't want to give that out.
Run some names. I'll put it out there. I don't give a fuck.
I'm not going to do that because you know what? Shout out Jersey Boxing. You know what? I just want to make sure you have the very, very best chance of doing your best work in the ring without any interview messing that up. So we're not going to do that because I want to make sure. Facts. Yeah, I want to make sure that I'm not part of that, to be fair.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, no doubt. You got it.
Yeah.
You got it.
But I will ask you a question about Lara, right? So knowing that Lara is an exceptional fighter, knowing for those listeners out there, Erislandy Lara has a really, really quality resume. He's fought some very, very good fighters. No disrespect, but I mean, he's faced just a plethora of great fighters, including Paul Williams. My goodness, he's faced Sal Canelo Alvarez, Austin Trout, Delvin Rodriguez, Vance Martirosyan, Yuri Foreman, who's I've been trying to get Yuri on the boxing breakdown a couple of times, but he came down with COVID as well. But anyway, he fought Jared Hurd. I mean, listen, Erislandy Lara's got a good resume. So knowing that, Thomas, where do you see his weaknesses? Like, what do you see? I mean, I can pinpoint certain things that I see, but where do you see his weaknesses?
I'd probably rather tell who I'm sparring than to say what I see like his weaknesses are.
Yeah.
But listen, I'll put it like this. He's an old man. He's a veteran. He's been in a lot of wars.
Yeah.
Jared Hurd took a lot out of him. Brian Castano took a lot out of him right after. He didn't look tremendous in his last fight against Greg Vendetti. No disrespect, but who's like, just like who he is. Look, he's been dropped before. I did think he beat Canelo. I thought he beat Canelo.
Yeah, I agree.
I thought he beat Paul Williams. And a fun fact, I had my fourth professional fight on that undercard. It was in Atlantic City.
Wow.
And I was on that undercard. And so like it's crazy how that is. And yeah, man, but Lara is really good at what he does. He doesn't do much, but he's really good at what he does. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I really think now we're going to see Lara because he thinks he'll be able to steamroll me in the pocket.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So look, it's going to be fun. It's going to be really interesting to see how it plays out. You know what I mean? I don't know if I got to bring my track shoes or my boxing shoes and a double guarded mouthpiece because I'm gonna have to bite the fuck down. Pause. I'm gonna have to, really get gritty.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You already know what it's gonna be. But I saw some headline come out that says that he's gonna try to put you to sleep. That's what shots were fired.
Man,
I heard him say that.
It's cap. It's cap. It's cap. Listen, I'm a realist. I don't want to hear all that. I don't want to hear all that shit. Listen, that man doesn't do no damn. He don't do no damn interview. Shout out to Louis de Cubas who really, and Al Heyman, and who really given me a chance to change my life. I love Louis to death. Yes. But Louis needs to go ahead and take that. He needs to go ahead with their words, man, because Lara don't talk like that, man. He gets told what to say. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to hear all that.
Right.
Lara, hey, cat. That's why I call it. I just say cat.
Yeah, I hear that. I got that. And you know what? That's blinders on, focus forward. All that's just it's hyperbole is what we call it. It's just a lot of noise, So
at the end of the day, Mark, we gotta fight. No matter how you cut the cake, slice and dice and throw it up in the air and whatever it lands on, we gotta fight.
Yeah.
A fight is a fight. Period. Point blank. A fight is a fight.
Yeah. So what do you think about, okay, so I'm going to you don't have to answer any of these questions. Obviously, you know that, but what do you think, are some of the things that Lara does well in watching the fights and really like looking at his work? Are there certain things, particular things that you think he excels at that you pay attention to, or you just know that these are things he does well?
Listen, he does everything well. He does everything very good. He's an elite world champion. I'm not going to disrespect the man. You know what I mean? He's an elite class world champion who does everything very well. But at the end of the day, man, I'm just so extremely confident that my game plan and my tactic and my style what I know I could bring to the table, suits me better than it suits him. Like my style, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I
but
get that.
he does everything well. He does everything very good, actually.
Yeah.
He does everything very elite. His movement, the poke and jab, the 1-2 that you barely see on left hand, his pivot off the left, the straight left, his body work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not weak. I know, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he can
From
fight
what I
up in the
understand, he's not
pocket too.
weak.
No, he can fight in the pocket.
He
can turn him
definitely
over.
can fight, but he doesn't want to.
Right.
He can, but he doesn't want to.
Right. Yeah,
he doesn't want to. He really doesn't want to. But the problem is, Mark, his legs ain't what they used to be.
Right.
He don't got the legs he used to have. And I'm not saying he doesn't have good legs, but he damn sure don't got fresh legs.
Right. Well, you mentioned that earlier. You did state that he's a little bit of an older gentleman, and he is, with all due respect, 37 years old, and he has.
He's 40. I don't want to hear that shit. He's 40. he's
40.
a Cuban. He's 40, man. He not know that motherfucker look old as shit in the face, man. He's 40. I don't want to hear that, man.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear that shit.
And he's got a handful of fights. Professional fights. We're not even going into his amateur.
I got more fights than him.
Yeah, I know. He's basically okay. So for those of you that are listening in, check this out. What Cornflake?
I'm lying. He has 2 more. I'm lying. I'm sorry. He has 2 more fights than I do.
No, you're 34-1, and you're 29 years old. He's 27-3-3. All right, and he's 30. Well, there's a discrepancy.
You got a little echo going on right now. You got a little echo.
Yeah, I think it might be your phone, bro. You think it's me? Here, let me see. How's that? Better?
Hold on. Say it again.
Test 1, 2.
Yeah, you good. You good.
All right, y'all listening to the boxing breakdown. And so anyway, as I was saying, Cornflake, your record is 34-1 with 20. You're 29 years old, and Erislandy Lara is 27-3-3, and he's 37 years old. So just in case you guys need that perspective out there, right? And so to your point, his legs are not what they used to be. I would expect that he'd be a little bit more stationary than normal. And I could see how that would play into your hands for sure if he is,
Yeah.
So, oh man, I'm just so excited about this fight. I really am. I'm excited for you, man. I know you've been grinding for a lot of years to get this fight,
Thank you so much. And you know what's crazy? And it's just hitting me. And like I told you, I've known about it since the end of December. About like mid to late December, I've known about it.
Yeah.
And it really hit me yesterday once it was announced. Like when it was finally announced, and I was like, wow. And then even just today, bro, I just got done. Literally right before the call, I just got done a little strength conditioning session, and I'm sitting there doing my abs, my sit-ups, and I said, "Holy fuck, I'm fighting Erislandy Lara."
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And well deserved, man. And you're gonna be yourself, and you're gonna do a great job, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, man. I mean, this is just another day, another dollar, another fight, and you're gonna just show up in your best shape, and that's what you're gonna do. So, what do you think he thinks about you? Like if you're in his corner, or if you're in his camp, what do you think he's saying about Thomas Lamanna?
It's funny because it's like, on one side of me, it's he's a true professional. He's a veteran, and you don't take shit lightly. You know what I mean? You should never take shit lightly. Always train hard. You have to be in shape to, fight at an elite level in a world championship fight for 12 rounds, 36 minutes. So the one side of me is telling me, he's a true professional and he's doing whatever. But the other side of it is telling me, he's definitely overlooking me. I'm a stepping stone in his eyes to become a 2-division world champion, 3-time world champion in a second division. Second weight class.
Yep.
And to go on to the bigger money fights, against whether if it's the Charlo or Murata or whoever, Eubank, whoever it is, whoever's top at 60. That's where I feel he's looking, what he's looking at, and which is okay because whatever. But I'm taking it as I'm fighting the best Erislandy Lara possible. I really feel like all the pressure is not on me.
No,
I'm 29 years young. I'm not. People aren't expecting me to win anyway. You know what I mean? They're not. People aren't expecting me to win anyway. The boxing people are already writing me off.
right.
All the pressure on Lara. He has to dominate me. He has to not only beat me, he has to dominate me. Like, he can't beat me close. He can't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, with that being said, pressure's on him. I don't think he really cares enough about the pressure and what it's doing because at the end of the day, he's fucking spoon-fed, on a silver platter. You know what I mean? So he gets whatever he wants.
Right.
When it comes to the fights and his money and all that shit. So, I don't know. I mean, I hope I answered your question correctly, but
oh yeah,
that's what
you did. And, and actually just to your point, if you're looking at the rankings, which, not many of us pay too much attention to anymore these days anyway, but he is ranked by the Ring Magazine as number 2. And by the WBA, he's the C at the WBA, right? So he's like right up at the top at the WBA. So
he's the champion.
Yeah.
He's the champion at 154.
Exactly. So you're, and so when you look at it on paper, you're not in the top 15 rankings yet, but you beat him. What happens to Thomas Lamanna?
Well, I'm number 8 in the WBA at 160.
Oh, pardon me. That's right. You are. Sorry about that.
Because you gotta understand, we're fighting for the middleweight title. So he's moving up in weight. He's the champion at 154. Listen, the point is this. Here's the real fact, and I don't give a fuck what nobody say. He wants no parts of his mandatory, which is Michelle Soro. Michelle Soro's is mandatory. That's a fucking dog. Nobody,
That's
what I mean?
right.
Unless you got to fight Michelle Soro, you know what I mean? He's not somebody you really want to fuck with. You know what I mean? Especially when there's too much bread on the table in the future.
Yeah.
So he wants no smoke of his mandatory at 54. He's 45 fucking years old. He's maybe 100 years old. So he probably can't make 54. So we go up, at the end of the day, Canelo did him a favor. Canelo did him a favor by staying, he's like reigning at 68. WBA elevated Murata up to the super champion, leaving the world title vacant. And, Lara being a world champion at 54, if he opts to want to go up, he gets first dibs. Right. He could do it in a voluntary. He could do it, maybe not a voluntary, but the next best, available. That's the key word, available contender. And that available contender was me.
Right.
Point blank period. That's how the game is. Can't be mad at me. You can't. I mean, some people can't hate the truth. It is what it is.
Right.
But here's the fact: he wants no parts of his mandatory, and I'm gonna make sure when the bell rings, he's not gonna want no parts of me neither.
I love that.
Fact.
That's powerful talk from Thomas Lamanna right there. And so Thomas, what like this is a relatively really powerful question for you, right? What is it about this fight that is so important to you, and why is it so important to you in your career?
I mean, it really needs no. It's obvious. The world title. It's what every young future champion, every young contender, every young blue collar fighter, every young amateur in the game today dreams of. Just for an opportunity. I was on the line with my man Leon Love last night.
Yeah.
We was on this thing Instagram, All Call Outs Mandatory, which is hosted by David Sparks Flat. And, he was on there, and, everybody, a lot of people had a lot to say about the point of me getting the opportunity, and they're well entitled to their opinion. But DeLeon made it very, very clear. It's like, Flake, motherfuckers pray that they get that call. It's the call that matters. That means you did something right. You did something. And I got the call. I've been doing boxing for a long time, and there's plenty of times, Mark, that I never had faith in myself. There's plenty of times that people around me didn't have faith in me. There's plenty of times that I've been dumped. I've lost. I quit. I retired. I almost threw it all away. And so I have an interesting, appealing story, I think. And my whole memo for this whole fight is, real fact is, Lara calls himself the American Dream, but fact is I'm the real American Dream. I'm the real American Dream, and I'm gonna stamp that shit once I become champion.
Wow.
That's facts, man. Like I really can't. There's really nothing else to say. Like,
yeah, no, I get that, and I could imagine. I mean, I can imagine that one of the fuels of your fire are all the people that are writing you off. Saying that you're not going to win the fight, right? So
not that, because everybody's more than entitled to their opinion, which is okay. It's okay. It does. Listen, it does hurt. It hurts a little bit when it hurts a little bit when it's by people that you thought give a fuck about you.
Right. For sure.
You know what I mean? Like when you think they give a fuck about you, like, look, it don't cost a dime to support. There's no guns in nobody's head that says you have to, go on a limb and say Flake is going to beat Lara. You're telling if you feel that way, great. If you don't, great. But it don't cost nothing to support. And so sometimes it gets a little like, damn, like you thought, especially when like I know I'm such a great, humble person, and I would do whatever I could for people, especially in the boxing game.
Oh yeah.
It hits you a little bit, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I don't fuck it.
I love that. I'll probably use that in the
because
transcript.
They can't fight for me. They can't fight for me.
No,
Fuck them.
That's right.
And listen, I don't need no more fuel. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like I said, self-explanatory. Like the fuel is you get to fight for the world title, Thomas. Like, fuck you, bro. Like, wow, you really you get an opportunity to fulfill your dream. Every fighter's dream is to become world champion. It's fighters' dreams to fight for the world title.
Right. To get the call, as you said before.
On Fox. Be the main event on Fox in front of, what? 1 million eyeballs? People are going to watch that shit, bro. It's 1 million people that's going to see me display my what's the word? It's going to display my passion.
Right.
With an elite world champion.
Yeah, fighting at the highest level.
At the highest level. I get to tell my 2.5-year-old 5 years from now when she really when she could know who Lara is and be able to maybe, I can only imagine the technology in 5 years, do her research on who Lara is or was, wherever,
Right.
And he could say that, my daddy fought him and beat him.
Right.
Fuck, it's about. That's what it's about.
Yeah, for sure. I was just gonna share with you that from my educated eye, some of the things that I would obviously these things. I'm sure you do, but that pokey jab and that setup jab that he uses and the straight left hand. Those two things, obviously, I'm sure you have plans to neutralize those weapons because those seem to be, if you go back and you look at all his fights, that 1-2-1 and there's some things that he does that's pretty, as you said, pretty basic, but they work. They've worked thus far.
Very elite. He's very elite at his he's very elite at that at what he's like the basic shit he does. He's very good at it though.
Yeah,
he's very good. He's very good at it. So I can't, he's very good at it. So
yeah.
But,
and you're good at what you do as well.
We got a plan. We got a plan. Listen, we got a plan.
Yeah, I know you do, man, and I can't wait to see because this thing is going down, right? It's going down on May 1st, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's amazing, bro. And so let's say when you are successful on May 1st, what do you got coming after that? Where are you setting your sights on? Are you staying in the division, or are you looking to go up?
No, I mean, I haven't really thought about it. There's a rematch clause for the both of us, and anyway, not for the both of us. I mean, can you imagine that? God forbid I get a fucking beat. God forbid I get beat to me. I get a rematch. You know what I mean? But
right.
It is what it is. I take what I can get. I take what I could get. But once I beat him, I gotta fight him again. He has the he has the right to that for whatever reason. And yeah, man. Fuck. I mean, like, whatever.
Right.
But after that, I believe it or not, I mean, I can't. Again, I don't want to talk about it because, and not that I don't want to talk about it. I really don't have no info.
Yeah.
But I have a show plan that I'm promoting in Puerto Peñasco, Mexico, which is like a beach town, a nice little resort town on the coast.
Okay.
That we're doing. So I'm gonna, back to the grind, back to business, and get a little vacation.
All the facets of Thomas Cornflake Lamanna, man. You're like, on from one thing to the next, and now on the biggest stage, at the highest level of the sport, you're facing Erislandy Lara, and this is going to be something, So
it's because I'm not, So it's like Mark, I'm like listen. It's not a surprise to me because I know I put the work in. But I've had
that's right.
I've had every damn reason and just about every obstacle not to be here. I just never quit.
Wow.
I just never fucking quit, man. Like that's why it's like finally like it's really hitting me like, yo, I never fucking quit. And if I fail, and let's just say I fucking fail, man, and it is what it is, nothing I can do about it is life. I want to be a testament to people that like, yo, you don't ever quit, you'll never give up, and I guarantee you, God gonna bless you with an opportunity. That's facts. And the most important thing that I can say is, Mark, listen, I did this shit my way, bro. I did it my way.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. That what you just said there was just so inspirational to me, and I'm sure the listeners are just riveted, because that is really a powerful testament to the human spirit and what you're made of, that you going through this journey, facing the obstacles that you've faced and yet you're standing here getting ready to have the biggest fight of your career, and you never gave up, and that's why you're here.
Yes, I'm here. And, I can't go without, thanking, Louis de Cubas, who's been a great asset to my life in the last year and a half. I've known Louis for, I don't know, 10 plus years. You know, on and off, you know, we met on a few occasions and we always kept in contact. And, you know, Louis kept his word and he never gave up on me. You know, obviously, you know, along with Al Heyman, you know, who with Louis, you know, I guess never gave up on me. More so Louis, obviously, you know, but Al's given me the opportunity. The whole PBC crew, Tom Brown, the promoter, you know, even that, and then, you know, I got to thank Samson Liskowicz for bringing me on the PBC platform in the beginning. And, you know, look, I'm just grateful for everybody. I'm grateful for everybody that, I'm grateful for everybody that, you know, has an impact on me. Thank my parents, you know, my mother who, she's my backbone, man, never gave up. She put her health on the line. She put her damn near her house on the line for me, like with this shit. Yeah, man. That's, you know, I want to thank my father for, you know, being, I'm not going to say my mentor, you know, he's not like that, but like, you know, I learned the game being in the boxing field. Obviously my father has been in the game, you know, many, many years ago, actively. He hasn't been active with it in quite some time, but, you know, I learned the ropes and, you know, I started getting my feet wet, you know what I mean, the do's and the don'ts and all that shit. And, man.
Wow. Yeah.
It's crazy. Man, this is fucking just surreal.
Yeah.
Now I'm just thinking, yeah. But I got a task at hand. Listen, I don't want to get too ahead of myself. There's one goal. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's very simple. Win.
Yes.
That's it. Win.
Yep. And the beauty of it is you're only in week 3 of your camp. You got a solid 5 more weeks left of training, and I'm sure the Cornflake Lamanna that we're going to see at the end of this camp will be a completely different guy too. That we can count on.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh no. Oh, you bet your ass. Hell yeah, man.
So
I'm going.
Listen, Thomas, I just wanted to thank you so much for taking out some time after training. I know you were just in the gym and you know, you jumped on the call to be with me this evening. And I just want to thank you. I'm grateful for you coming on the program and for you just enlightening the fans and letting everybody know about what you're up to and your passion for you know, the task at hand that you have. And I just want to tell them one more time again, you know, this is Thomas Lamanna is going to be squaring off against the Cuban star and the WBA Super Welterweight champion, Erislandy Lara. And that's going to be for the WBA Middleweight Championship. And it's headlining on FOX PBC Fight Night and on FOX Deportes Saturday, May 1st. From Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, California. I'm sure there's some tickets there. I think there's only going to be roughly 2,000 tickets. So if you want to get in there and check that out, please make sure you, you know, you hit them up and you get your tickets. Cornflake, where can people find you on Instagram? What's your taglines and stuff? Yeah.
Well, on Instagram, you know, official Cornflake Boxing. And my taglines, man, the one and only Dark Places. That's right, Dark Places. And then I got a new one, hashtag Change My Life Tour, because, you know, this is what it is. It's the Change My Life Tour. Period. Like, with this win, my life changes.
Wow.
Back. That's all it is.
Exciting stuff. Exciting stuff. The broadcast begins at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time, and precedes the FOX Sports PBC Pay-Per-View event headlined by former Unified Heavyweight World Champion Andy the Destroyer Ruiz Jr. battling all-action heavyweight Chris the Nightmare Arreola, which tops a stellar boxing extravaganza, all taking place at the Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, California. People, make sure you check it out. Dark Places. Thomas Lamanna, thank you so much for being on the program.
You're welcome, bro. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, brother. And until next time, peace and love. I'll see you
Peace out, bro.
on the other side.
Yes, sir.
All right, brother.
Fight fans, join host Mark Roxey and special guests as they break down all aspects of the boxing world, including news, business, management, training, promotions, fan reactions, upcoming events, matchups, future boxing stars, title fights, state of the boxing world, and all the stuff you don't see when you watch boxing. This podcast is released each week on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Live streamed on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook Live. It's the Boxing Breakdown, hosted by Mark Roxey.